Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Let's Have a Pint. Today we have Mirror Pond Pale Ale from Deschutes Brewing. Uh, it is an American Pale Ale, 5% alcohol by volume, 40 IBUs. Um, the description on Untapped reads, the quintessential Northwest Pale Ale, Cascade hops and more Cascade hops give this tawny colored ale delicious hop forward aroma and flavor. Pale malt allows the hops to linger, not overpower. Uh, this one has not been out of the fridge for nearly as long as the other one. It's been out of the fridge for it might be 2 minutes by now. I love this can though. I almost want to keep it. And I don't have a uh, technically a great glassware for this beer. I'm using a wheat glass. But I kind of wanted to mix it up, and I wanted to use this glass. I saw it in my collection of glassware over there, and I was like, let's use that. I haven't used it in a little while. There's things in there I don't ever use, but they're just they're so like narrow. Jesus Christ, I can smell that from here. Uh, that there's not much that can go with them. There's there's like weird chalices that I feel only go with extremely malty brews, not like imperial stouts or porters, not like that kind of malty, like the sickeningly sweet malty that I don't personally like. I'm not big on what the hell is Bigfoot? Whatever the hell style that is. Barley wine style. I'm not big on that. Yes, it has a hop presence, but I don't know. The malt is sickeningly sweet. At least in that one. I can't remember. I know I've had other ones, and I used to like that beer, but it's fairly dark. About a finger's worth of head. Almost has a like sitting at the pool kind of smell to it. Definitely get the malt, or not the malt, sorry, the hop. Very used to Cascade hops. Are they the most popular for use? They're one of them. We're gonna go in for it. Oh, whew. Every bit as good as I remember. Don't remember anything, actually. I've had this once before. I rated it a 4 star. That was back on December 15th of 2012. But very much enjoy this. And this one shows why dates are not always, or at least Best Buy dates are not always the best thing out there. It says 5/29 of this year, and it's 5 weeks later. It drinks like a decently bitter pale ale. Nearly as bitter as like Sierra Nevada. Ooh, that's good. Uh, Medium bodied. There's actually some bubbles in there, a little bit, it's tiny bubbles. Hop hits you right on the front of the tongue, but it's not real big or real powerful. And then they just kind of slowly disappear towards the end of it. Well, that's really all I get out of here is uh, the nice hop bitterness. Well, there's almost a floral note to that, or piney. I'd say more piney. Which, since it's not a real big beer, it's not supposed to be this huge pale ale, like, with 50 different flavors to pick out of it. It works really well. I'm very happy with it. It gets exactly a 3.6. I rated it a 4. I might rate it higher than that, I don't know yet. But yeah, that pine stings right on the front of the palate. And then by the time you go to swallow, it's gone. So, for this episode, I kind of wanted to talk music, but not, like, too into it. If anybody really, really cares, we can get really into what I enjoy listening to. But as always, you're always free to tell me what you like to listen to. More than likely, unless you're a hip-hop head, you just do pop music or you do country, I'm going to probably have a fair amount in common with you. The closest I get to country is I like Johnny Cash's remake of Hurt. I like Jamie Lynn Spears music, but I've enjoyed Jamie Lynn Spears. So I think they were in the 3rd season of Zoe 101 when I started watching the show, or the 2nd season, one of the two. I don't care about any of the bullshit. I thought she was I'm not going to say she's an incredible actress or anything. I think she's a hell of a lot better musician than actress. But I do really love her music. Between those two, that's probably the closest I get to country. Or maybe, like, Gordon Lightfoot, which is not exactly country, but folk is pretty close. For pop music, I do like Avril Lavigne a lot, but she's more of a rock pop. Fun story. Was it about 3 years ago? I went down to Kansas City with a friend, and we were at a brewery down there. Can't remember the name of it. It was in a tiny little corner of this big ass building. More likely, a lot more space than what I was able to see was the brewery, because you couldn't really see any of it. It was just the tap room, basically, the brew pub, whatever you want to call it, that you could see. Well, not brew pub, but the tap room. But it was this big ass building. And I know they didn't have the whole thing, because we went up to the main door thinking, okay, the GPS is telling us it's here. We can't fucking see this place. Went up to the main door. It's got a chain lock and everything on it, and there is nothing inside. It's been abandoned. And I'm like, well, it says it's around here somewhere. It says it's this building. We went all the way around the building. Came around the corner back to the front of the building. We'd just given up, and we're like, sign right in front of our face. It says the brewery name. And we're like, Oh, well, do we think this might be it? So we went into that door there in the corner, and sure enough, they had beer. They had good beer, too. They also had something. I was drunk by that point. I was not the driver. It was, it wasn't beer cheese, but it was something similar. And I kept asking him what it was and what was in it. And I could never keep it straight, but it was so delicious. I think it was Stockyard. I really think it was Stockyard. I want to say Stockyard was one of the ones we visited. Double Shift, I think we visited. You know, we had obviously visited Boulevard. We wanted to visit Crane, I think, and there was some reason why we couldn't. They were like closed that day or something. But I think it was Stockyard. Was probably tell you about this picture if the picture comes up. I can't tell you if there's a parking lot for the structure. I don't remember. This place served beer. That one I can guarantee you I do know. Is there a wheelchair accessible entrance here? That I can't remember. I know we parked a ways away, but we had already parked and we were looking around the building and couldn't figure it out. Yes, this is it. I don't even need to recognize the place. I remember the Golden Pig. Yes. Oh, okay, yeah, I remember the place. Yep, this is 100% it. Yeah, there was some sort of shit that they had that was just so fucking delicious. That was a dip. I was so fucking drunk by the time. I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, your taste buds fade the more you drink. But you can still tell if something tastes good or not. You know, and you can go, well, I'm glad I'm drunk because this tastes like shit if you're trying to be drunk, you know, and everything. Which, I hate getting drunk. I unfortunately got drunk once this year. We're 7 months in. That sucks. That I got drunk once. I hate it. I never liked it, but it happened a lot more when I was younger, and I was trying to figure out my tolerance levels and everything. And I was richer because I lived with my parents. That would be one thing that would be nice about living with my parents again. Jesus Christ, I'd be taking fucking trips all over the country, drinking beer. But at 29 years old, that's not happening. They would let me. They wouldn't be happy about it. They'd let me, but they wouldn't be happy about it. Last time I lived with them, they wouldn't take money. I wanted to pay them for living with them. So I felt like shit moving back in with them. That's a long-ass story that we'll never get into. It was not my choice. It was kind of forced. But anyways, we were at this place, and this song came on, and I can't remember the goddamn name of the thing. So, it's Taylor Swift, and I can't remember the fucking name of the song. I don't want to really play anything, 'cause I don't want the video. There we go. It wasn't Shake It Off. I actually can't stand that song. It's Blank Spaces. Blank Space. I really, really liked that song. I was like, I really like this song. I was like, hey Siri, what the fuck is this song? And Siri was like, dumbass, this is Blank Spaces from Taylor Swift. Does she have a new album? So, oh yeah, she had an album come out last year. Gotta listen to that. It was at least 7 months ago this thing came out. If it came out in December. Since then, I've gotten more into her. I don't like everything, but I like her a lot. For hip hop, I like random songs. There's some NWA songs I really like. Uh, for just random listening to hip hop, I very much would prefer like 80s or early 90s hip hop. Uh, but I do really like Tech Nine. I like Eminem a lot, and I like a very, very not known artist by the name of Great and Square. Uh, I also like, and I always forget her name. She's Spanish. Uh, but my girlfriend got me into, I can't do anything to scroll. I don't understand it. Oh, there. I'm very, very not technologically savvy. Uh, we'll have to get back because she's gonna be way down here. She'll be under recently played. How's that? I mean, here's my recently played for to show you what. I listened to Godsmack's newest album recently. Uh, I've listened to Immortalized a little bit recently. Listened to a little bit of Hinder. And I can't figure out how to scroll again. It doesn't show up. Eminem's on there. Marilyn Manson's on there. For fuck's sake. Childish Gambino is the one that my girlfriend got me into. Pretty talented. I can't remember the Spanish girl's name. Smell the Product. But that's really all I like for rap. I like rock music pretty well. I listen to the Beatles a lot. Love Pink Floyd to death. Love Simon and Garfunkel, a lot of those older ones. I love even older music. Burt Bacharach's amazing. George Gershwin. Anything from then. Jimi Hendrix is fucking amazing. Stevie Ray Vaughan, I love blues rock. Blues rock has my heart. I can't tell you a lot of different blues rocks artists, but I can tell you I love blues rock. And anytime that comes on, I'm like, oh my god. But I know the most about heavy metal. Favorite band is Stained. And besides their first album, they are very much more mild than pretty much anything else that I really like. Other than I do really like Limp Bizkit. I know a lot of people do not, but I do. I don't give a damn what you say. I enjoy what I enjoy. Can say I'm wrong, but I am perfectly right because it's what I enjoy. Slayer is way up there. I really like Ghost's first 3 albums. I honestly have not listened to the new one all the way through. I've listened to like 9 songs on the new Ghost album. How many songs is even on there? If I type in GH, it brings up Ghost. If I type in GHO, it brings up Ghost Town, which I really like Ghost Town too. Alright, I won't be able to scroll down. I can tell you there's at least 9 songs. Oh, there's 10 songs. I've listened to pretty much the whole album. My second favorite form of music is a subgenre of metal, which has a lot of its own subgenres. But black metal. I love black metal. There's some things that have upset me recently. There's some black metal artists that have had to cancel U.S. tours recently because people who don't like him, would say, oh, well, 10 years ago at a show in Germany, this artist painted a swastika on their chest. So they're Nazi sympathizers. We shouldn't allow them to play. And everybody's like, you know what? They're black metal, so yeah, we'll get behind this. The bullshit about that is, and you might not like any of this music, but Marilyn Manson references swastika fairly often in his music. I'm not going to say real often, but he has a song with swastika in the name. I can't remember the name of it. It's a pretty good song, though. Nobody's saying he's a Nazi sympathizer. Granted, I guess he does have to cancel shows sometimes, but not really in America. But he's also not black metal. That is sad. 4 of their top 5 songs are songs I don't care about. The other one's okay. Square Hammer's an okay song. I'm still on Ghost Page, but this would have been for I don't remember who that was that had to do with that. But it was really disappointing because I was going to go see one of the shows. I think it was Take. Taake. And then this last May, me and my girlfriend were planning to go down to Kansas City. Which I wouldn't go down there for one band. Satyricon is my favorite black metal band, but they were going to be there with Inquisition. And then somebody brought up something from years and years ago where he got in trouble, the lead vocalist got in trouble for masturbating outside. But, was it? No. To masturbating outside to child porn or something like that. I know child pornography was involved, and I know being outside masturbating was involved. And it went to court. But he was not convicted. He was found innocent. And I don't care. The moment you look up child pornography, that's it. If you're caught, they're going to see it. You're not going to hide that shit. They'll find that fucking shit. So, the fact that he was innocent makes me feel like he's innocent. Sorry, it bugs me. Because they had to drop off the Satyricon show. Or Satyricon tour for that. Which means I never went down and saw Satyricon and Inquisition. But it was funny because Satyricon's tour, I think it was Satyricon, wrapped up their tour recently, and they said, one of the members said that they might not ever tour the United States again because there's so much visa bullshit and all that you have to go through to enter this country. Which there's a lot of bullshit in this country, and it's not just political stuff. It's just in general. And there's a lot of ignorance in this country, a lot of it. But, you don't like something, fucking ignore it. If it's not hurting anybody, fucking ignore it. If there's people that love it, it hurts nobody, fucking ignore it. People who wanted to kill Marilyn Manson back in the late 90s, early 2000s because they thought he was the devil. He's not hurting anybody. He's never, well, I won't say he's never hurt anybody. He's extremely narcissistic. There was a lyric earlier from a song. Oh no, it wasn't from a song. Recently he did a show. It was in Spain. It was like Download Festival or something. And he invited some fans up on stage. One of them was wearing an Avenged Sevenfold t-shirt, which my girlfriend got me into them, and I really like them as well. But he was nice about it. He wasn't pushy about it. He said, "Hey, that's not my band, so can you take that shirt off?" Uh, by no means did the person have to do it. They did it. No big deal. They didn't argue with it. They didn't care. They were up on stage with Manson. They didn't give a shit. Uh, but people are like, well, this shows. Well, the article I read was like, well, this just shows how insecure Manson is. I don't know Manson, but from what I know of Manson, to me, I don't feel like he has any insecurities whatsoever. I mean, maybe, but I don't think that they're gonna show. I don't think there's enough for it to show. I think what this shows is how extremely narcissistic and how egotistical he is. Because if there's one thing anybody in the metal community knows about Marilyn Manson, he's extremely egotistical. Now, granted, some of that is, uh, fair enough. He writes brilliant music. He absolutely does. Even today, he still writes brilliant music. I love his new stuff. Um, there was one album recently I didn't care too much for, but Born Villain's one of my favorite albums of his, and that came out in 2012. This last one, Heaven Upside Down, is amazing. Uh, and it's amazing to me how Rob Zombie, who used to be fairly similar, they've both branched way out from what they were at that time. By the way, Saliva I do love. They both branched out. Rob Zombie turned out bubblegum metal, and Manson's gone between a dark industrial rock, staying with that industrial metal, but it's all brilliantly written and very deep, and you could have 5 different meanings picked out of really any song. With Rob Zombie after '01, there was some things off Educated Horses in '04 that were okay. But even that album wasn't that great. And anything since then has been irrelevant and just simple. And there's really not very many bands, I feel like, who could do something simple and make it multi-layered and turn it with, tone and everything into something more. One band that I think is brilliant about that is Drowning Pool. Their newest album, which they should be due for another one soon, they better be doing another one soon. But if they do another one with the guy that they have, it will be a record for them. 3 albums with the same singer. And actually, I think he's the best singer they've had since the unfortunate death of their original vocalist. Hallelujah was the newest album. Absolutely fucking amazing. In the first year I listened to it, actually in the first 8-9 months I listened to it over 300 times. I loved that album that much. But like I said, if they do another album with this guy that's still with the band, that's been with the band for 5 years, it'll be a record. I think he's had the longest stint with the band. The guy before him was Next, and he had a 4-year stint. But anyways, I also really like Disturbed. Is another one I was blanking, so I just said Disturbed. To an extent, Immortalized was disappointing. Really, there should have been 2 different albums, each song on either album, and then other songs added on, because there was way too much tonal difference between songs on that album. Before that, they were fucking bloody brilliant, and there were great songs off that album. Open Your Eyes was really good, but what is it called? I'm the Dark Messiah. I'm the Vengeful One. Absolutely incredible, and obviously everybody knows their remake of Sound of Silence. Oh, there's so many. There's a lot of black metal. We'll get into that kind of shit more at another time. I love punk music. Uh, One of my favorite bands that my girlfriend introduced me to is actually her favorite band. And would you be shocked that I've forgotten the name offhand? But I remember the singer's name. I'll remember. I always forget, but I'll remember something. I the Mighty. Brent Walsh is the singer. It's very short. Love how everything I've forgotten, like the name of the artist, but I'll remember a song or something else. But I the Mighty is genuinely good. If you like rock music, specifically like more artsy rock, not like in the styling of Pink Floyd, but like more, not really like an independent, but kind of a cross between independent and artsy. I the Mighty is an incredible band. I've maxed out my Spotify many a times over. What do I have on iTunes? I have like 4,000 songs on iTunes. Something like that. And just so you know, the song Andrew's Song, if you listen to that song by I the Mighty, it confused me for the longest time. It's a beautiful, beautiful song, but it confused me for the longest time. Andrew is a dog. Just know that going in. Andrew is a dog. Know that going into the song. Because otherwise, you'll be so confused. And I was so confused for the longest time, and then my girlfriend told me it's about a dog. It's about a... Oh. I won't get into anything more about it, but just know that much if you listen to that song. Anyways, Shocking Music is the one that's taken the longest. Is there anything else musically I want to tell you guys? I don't know, because Spotify is fucking up so badly. I don't even know. Who's this? Oh, that's Avenged Sevenfold. Like, I got the bar to come up once. I am very technologically inept. Can I just scroll? Like, why is it that on a webpage you click on it, you hit the down arrow and it goes down? Spotify, you click on it, you scroll down, it doesn't do shit. I don't know how to do it. I don't know technology. I don't understand shit. The only time if there's an excuse to listen to music, I'm listening to music. The only time I don't listen to music is when I'm waking up in the morning and I gotta go to work. Then I listen to a science magazine podcast. I'm like 3 years down. Like, I started with whatever the newest one was when I downloaded it. And I've just been letting it go since, I don't know. I figure once I get to the bottom, I'll start with the newest one and let it go again until I get to where I had started. And then I'll be like, well, fuck, they only do this like twice a month. What the hell do I listen to now at 6 o'clock in the morning when I'm still half asleep and I don't want anything really penetrating my eardrums? Which is the only time of the day I don't really want. I guess when I'm sleeping, I don't really want anything penetrating my eardrums. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. It means this video needs to end. But anyway, Mirror Pond Pale Ale, absolutely amazing. I had forgotten we were doing beer. Let's go back over here. Beer's good. Beer's very good. Anyways, this gets a 3.6. I gave it a 4 before. I'm actually leaning towards a 4.25. See, for the most part, I try to rate based on style. Like, I can't rate this based on big, massive imperial stout or anything that's big and rare and with 25 different flavors to pick out. I can't base it on that. I got to base it on pale ales. And honestly, for a pale ale, this is one of my more favorite ones. I'd have to probably say Sierra Nevada Pale is probably my favorite. A lot of people probably say that too, but Mirror Pond is up there. Anyways, that is it for this episode. When I rate this, I'm going to rate it a 4.25. Alright, till next time. I don't know what the subject is going to be. I just decided this one because of the shirt. And I have a video that's going to be going up soon that, says I'm opening up to you guys, but it's really always opened up to you guys. You can comment on any video and say, hey, tell us about this, we want to know this about you. Or, like I said, there can be history lessons. There can be, I know a lot about dinosaurs. You want to learn about dinosaurs, we can do episodes where I'll talk about specific dinosaurs or general things. We can have more episodes on music. We can delve into black metal, which I think, even if you don't care for the music, which is very much understandable, it's interesting to learn about anything, really. Other than, I say politics is off limits in an upcoming video, and I'm pretty sure politics itself is. But certain things, I am going to tell you a story. And I don't feel like this should be off limits because nobody should be okay with this. It was about 3 weeks ago or something. I woke up one morning, went to work, I think it was a Tuesday, and I was standing in the break room at like 6:55 in the morning, and I had seen something vaguely on Facebook before I went to bed, or before I fell asleep, but I didn't think anything of it. It fucked up that day for me. It really fucked it up. Like, nothing... there's been things that have angered me, but nothing that shook me like this did. The news was... and I'm going to say basically how it is. Not what they want to say it is, but what it actually is. We have internment camps. And I was absolutely disgusted seeing that on the news. I can't say I couldn't believe it. And if any president was going to bring that back around, that shit that we've had 100 fucking years ago, and don't get me wrong, I'm not surprised we haven't learned our lesson. We never learn our lesson. But internment camps, are we fucking serious? Just because people were seeking asylum? What about when the Irish came here? We didn't throw them in cages. They didn't get treated well. That was a different time period. But they didn't get thrown in cages. There were people at that time that did. Japanese got thrown in cages. Well, actually, any Asian got thrown in cages because of something the Japanese did. But, what made it worse is it's children. I am not a fan of children. I hate children. But children don't deserve to be treated that way. Just because I don't like them, I don't feel that they should be. We were throwing kids in cages. We still are. We still have them in cages. But the most disgusting thing is, some of those children, we gave them back to the family. We gave them to human traffickers. It wasn't disgusting enough in the first place that we took kids from their families. It wasn't disgusting enough that we threw them in cages and in tournament camps. It wasn't disgusting enough that they could go 7 days without food or water at a time. This got heavy as fuck. But I won't forget. That was the first time in the history of my life where I have truly been disappointed with this country. And I'm going to say this straight up. You can't be that proud of your country and that patriotic if you can't see the faults. You know, if we're number one, no matter what, then that's more you not caring. The more you care about what you're doing as a country, shows more pride in your country, shows more desire for your country to be what it should be. And I'm gonna get off the topic, but I'll never forget the feeling that created within me. I'd never felt that before. But anyways, that was Mirror Pond Pale Ale from Deschutes. This got heavier than heavier than fuck. And it's also by far the longest episode. I am so sorry this was so long. Until next time, Prost.